Or legally purchase it online, with your mom's credit card. She won't know. And
hey, kids, kill your parents.
Yeah.
Do it.
Just do it. Then you can watch all the R-rated stuff you want.
Fuck off.
Boys, let's behave.
Let's behave. We have to be professional for this podcast.
Okay, so today Aaron has thoughts about the new releases for anime this
yes,
coming
the new
season.
winter schedule. I've been looking at a few of the latest seasons because it's 2016, it's the new year. I have high hopes.
You had high hopes.
I had high hopes, and then they crushed my dreams and hopes this new year.
Usually, I wait for the good stuff to float on top.
Yeah, I don't wait for that. I usually try to look for there's some that are popping up, but I just want to go down.
Your sacrifice will be remembered.
Yes, my sacrifice, my valorous efforts to preserve the good anime. I sound like a weeaboo when I say that. But,
You're the one watching lesbian bear anime.
Yeah, that was more of a rite of initiation. That was more of a test.
How do you need to initiate yourself? We've been watching it forever.
Just to see what level of bullshit crazy I can handle.
Knowing you is pretty high.
It's pretty high.
The threshold's pretty high.
It's pretty high, and for that show to take that threshold and just throw it against the wall and beat the shit out of it, it is pretty extraordinary, I would say.
The bears were really cute, though.
Yuri Kumarashi is the name of it. Love Bullet.
Love Bullet.
Aaron likes the Yuri.
I was hoping to like the Yuri, and then I ended up getting a David Lynch vomit-inducing smorgasbord.
Of course.
It was... I didn't understand, because the plot...
The plot?
I don't get what the plot is about. I get it, it's kind of,
it's
but
like
I don't.
A film studies class, you just don't know what the plot is.
You know what? Yeah, you know what? You could show that in, the film studies classes and just show that off as, pretentious art. And other people could delve into it.
But it's not even self-aware. It's self-aware that it's shit, but it's not self-aware that it's so shit that it's art.
But you liked the bears, the designs in it.
Yeah, but they were cute.
They were cute. Yeah, I remember...
I wouldn't... I just saw, the ending generic.
Yeah.
And I thought it was cute.
That took me by surprise a little bit, because, when I sent you the link to look at Yuri Kumarashi, I figured you were just going to blow it off, okay, whatever, who gives a shit. You came back to me with the ending that you went out of your way to find, and I went, wow.
No, I clicked one link, and it was suggested video after I finished sort of watching the shit intro you sent me.
Yeah. But there are some shows.
I'm very concerned for the young women in Japan. I'm just going to say that, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what's the rate of sex offenders or pedophilia in this country.
I wouldn't know either. I don't know the statistics.
Is there stats?
There are probably stats out there.
Because I know suicide rates are pretty high.
I remember hearing this one thing saying that at least every woman in Japan gets molested on the train at least once.
Yeah, but that's it's like if you say every woman had as a story of this creepy dude or this guy tried to grope me. Or
it's cup.
But yeah,
but it's
always,
all women so.
Yeah, so it's a high percentage.
Even in manga, that's always some sort of plot point. Oh, this guy's molesting me. What do I do?
Yeah, exactly.
Kick him in the balls.
Kick him in the balls.
But sometimes you freeze. I mean, you can go in trauma of assault, but.
Well, I mean, the stereotype, I guess, in those situations is the women are supposed to be more reserved and they don't know how to handle themselves. But I think that's not completely true.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's.
There's
a lot of issues around that. Let's just put it that way. But it's just a cartoon. Ain't no matter.
Well, it depends on what you define or what you stretch within the content as cartoon. If you think of it as harmless material, not really. But
I hope because God, it's the fan service of boob grabbing sometimes in these shows.
And this is what Yuri and groping is leading into today. We're talking about fan service right now. And we'll do that while I'm browsing through the Annie chart.
Speaking of fan service, I remember reading this one manga called History's Strongest Disciple, Kenichi. God. like almost every female character had overly large boobs.
Yeah.
And like they would always wear these outfits that would always wrap around each individual boob.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not how spandex works. That is not how it works. The spandex would wrap around the pair in general.
It's not vacuum sealed.
Well, before we,
it's
I
like
guess
it's like the spandex has boob pockets, like one pocket for each individual boob.
that's what I'm talking about. So what I'm gonna say,
that's like in all like media, like if you think of like 90s comic books, fucking lord, like there's like these old like people, not old people, but like Eric Larson, like he came out, he's like one of the founders of Image Comic. He was like, practical wearing clothes for like superheroines, like it's ruining comics or whatever the fuck. So I'm not speaking loud enough. That's why you're like asking me to scream into the microphone.
yeah,
Okay,
You're
so
very
basically,
quiet,
you are a quiet, reserved person.
I'm a lady.
Just like you are a lady, just like the ladies in Japan who get
molested.
molested.
Yeah, so basically there's like the same problem in all media that's
Yeah.
male dominated.
That is true, and that is the truth about a lot of it. But here's the other thing.
I feel so welcomed.
Welcome to this great discussion.
Yay.
But I mean, like you being a woman, this would affect you as well, watching this sort of stuff, right?
Like noticing how the boob physics is wrong.
Yeah.
Boobs don't work that way.
Watching video gameplay of Dead or Alive Extreme 2, watching each woman's individual boob bounce up and down.
Yeah,
It's just setting up young men for disappointment. I'm just...
It is setting up, because we expect two giant mold bounds of Jello, just like wrapped up in string.
Yeah.
Just
Or
flopping around.
possibly boob pockets in the spandex suits.
Yeah. Why don't you ladies wear more boob pockets? You know,
It's probably not comfortable.
probably not.
Probably chafe underneath, actually, now that I
Yeah.
think about it.
Maybe we should get like a fat guy to wear boob pockets. See how he likes it.
The
Just like
chafing.
Anyway.
But talking about fan service, so recently
Yeah.
I've watched this anime because usually I base my viewing of anime about the amount of cool GIF set I can find.
Yeah.
It's very exact science.
That is a very Tumblr thing to say. GIF sets.
Tumblr's kind of my
Yeah,
home.
that is.
Okay, so this anime is called, I'll say it, you're better with
What does it
Japanese
say?
accent.
Yozakura Quartet. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
okay.
Heard of that. I wanted to see
So
that.
there was the first series,
I know what she's going to say.
and it was really cool, kind of bland, but whatever. Plot holes, many they were.
But harmless.
But, whatever. And then they did another adaptation. It was like, Yuzakura Quartet,
Hanano Uta.
Okay? And that was kind of like the same story with a lot of changes, but still following the same universe, the same storyline.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the fan service, that didn't make fucking sense.
Right.
Like, there was this, I can't remember the name of the characters. There's like the character with the glasses, and there's a character with cat ears.
And then there's a nurse character.
Yeah, and all these characters were there in the first series. And I was like, okay,
Right.
it's, whatever. And then, like, they seem like the girl with the glasses and the one with the cat ear. It's like, oh, are they a couple now? Because they're holding hands. It's like, okay, that's cool. But it's, like, random, like, we're at the beach, and then it's, like, boob licking, and I'm just, like, boob grabbing everywhere. And I'm just like, okay, so, like...
Right.
You do like foreplay at the beach with your friends, okay?
Well, it's interesting you
Makes
say that.
total sense. It's very intimate settings. With,
Well, it's
like, 20
interesting you
people
say
around.
that because, like, in a lot of fan servicey high school settings, they often try to depict a lot of times how women would behave around each other in those situations. They would say, "Oh, look, your boobs are big. Let me touch them and play them more. Let's see what happens if we play those weird games of."
I wonder if the director of these series actually spoke to any of his female animator
wonder.
staff about how women acted with each other.
That's the question.
It's it's like mystical creatures. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about
they-
periods, we talk about like, clothes and boobs and stuff, but like,
Yeah.
it's not like grab and like, I'm gonna grab it in a way that if someone was
Yeah.
watching, he would get turned on. Like, it's not like,
Yeah.
no.
Because everything seems to turn girls on in anime. Everything.
Jeez.
Jeez.
Everything you do.
If only that was that easy.
From just playfully poking them in the face to grabbing their boobs to just being a nice guy.
Or falling.
You know that little trope in anime as well. Like that's
Falling.
falling. Yeah. or just getting
I
embarrassed.
think my main, like, you remember when I was telling you how, like, I'm just angry at the lack of payoff?
Yeah.
I'm just like...
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, that's the thing I would complain about as a romance anime fan.
Yeah, you
'Cause
like
I-
your romance. I'm just like, fuck
Oh.
that shit.
Just
I want murder and
You
gun and
want-
blood and,
You want
you know,
blood.
full on end of Soul Eater, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah. So you want like a satisfying conclusion.
I mean, come
at
on.
the end. Yeah.
I think the closest thing I saw, like, was like in these older, like, more mature anime, like Cowboy Bebop and like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Evangelion.
Yeah.
Like, you hear people having sex at some point. Adults.
Like Misato and Ryoji
Yeah, like
at one point.
off
yeah.
screen, but you still, you know
Off
it's
screen,
happening.
that's true.
They were cutting on budget again.
Yeah.
Just that one frame.
Well, I wanna ask a question then, you guys. In that case, do you think that the influx and the huge amounts of fan service within anime makes it kind of
It's like-
difficult to show sexuality in anime without it not being taken seriously now?
I think they're just not doing, like, I just think they're doing whatever gives money at this point. They don't really care about how they interpret anything.
Right.
So it's like a, you know, Michael Bay doing realistic explosions. Like, it's not gonna happen.
Right. But then, but it's funny you say that, because then that would mean that if Michael Bay tried to do a serious film,
That would not happen.
it wouldn't happen.
He's glad to stay in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Transformer Land.
Because he tried
okay?
something like that with Pearl Harbor before he came really big.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Tried.
And Pearl Harbor was a completely historically inaccurate or overblown.
The
I'm
movie
trying to
adaptation,
remember.
right.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to remember. It was okay, I guess.
Yeah, but it focused more on like the love story than the actual attack
Jeez.
Yeah, but that's
between the main characters, because you have to have something for people to latch onto, not just a
You
historical.
gotta have relatable characters that are involved in this historic action
That's
in order
right.
to be
You can't have them
interested
just
into it.
normally doing anything.
period piece that it's okay for him to be racist in.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Anyways, what you doing?
Not much.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't watch enough anime to know. It's just that it's usually stigmatized by not stigmatized, but like ridden by like realistic portrayal of anything or everything.
Yeah.
Like if they can't get boobs right, I mean,
Then do you think they can't
It's
get
like-
they can't get women right in your mind?
no, they can. Miyazaki does it all the time.
Yeah. You know,
I don't think it's just a lack of like opportunity to do it.
I think the one thing I would say about female characterization in anime is that the diversity for personalities, as in general, has an interesting range. But maybe part of the problem is a lot of the personalities are designed, in many cases, like in Moe's case, are structured in such a way to satisfy certain demographics, male demographics, basically.
Well, I find it most of the time they're very cookie cutter. Like
They are very cookie cutter.
I mean, doesn't mean that they're not all bad, but I'm just mean like often it's like, oh, this is this, this is this, this is this, this is that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like
You can break it down.
yeah, and like you watch like more like let's say you watch like a live action like Jessica Jones, like nobody's that cookie cutter in that
No
show.
one's that cookie cutter. I mean, if you stretch hard enough, you can, but I mean, you have to really dig deep to try
Yeah,
to.
so it's kind of like I think they just lack character development and nuance.
Yeah, like if you had to stretch it, Jessica Jones would be like the personal reject character.
She's not. Well, I mean,
She's like a personal.
it's like there's a reason.
Yeah,
She's
there's
like,
a reason for it, but if you wanted to stretch it, she'd be like that loner girl who just doesn't want to let anyone in.
Well, then she's traumatized because
She's
she got
traumatized.
raped.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. She actually, there's purpose to that, as opposed to just
A Mary Sue,
just a Mary Sue or
a crying protagonist like Shinji Ikari.
Shinji Ikari. Yeah,
I mean,
Just pilot the robot.
yeah. Just get in the robot. I don't want
get
it,
the
Dad.
robot.
But I don't want it, Dad.
Oh God,
I know.
that fucking show, man.
Why not? Because my mom's dead or something.
And I don't like you, Dad. Fuck
Well,
you.
I don't like you either, so I could have anyone else pilot it, but whatever.
Got no choice. Gotta
Got no
have
choice.
you do
You
it.
get in it. That's why I wanted you here. son.
Then let's forget about that switch, this autopilot. Then
This dummy pilot
Jeez.
that they had. Yeah, they had dummy pilots programmed to begin with.
yeah.
Yeah. So why couldn't they just operate like that?
No, because you need a human pilot to unlock the
Hidden potential of the Eva.
Yeah.
Because these things are angels, but not really. They're like better than angels.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they'll super. You know what's
Still the
funny?
best animation around. Though.
Yeah.
It is true. And you know what's funny? We just Evangelion, and if anybody
Let flow the hate. Let the hate flow.
let the hate flow, exactly. You have anybody any of those guys listening to this podcast who runs cons, who runs panels at cons just about Evangelion, breaking it down.
Is that a
They're gonna
thing?
have it is it's a thing.
Okay.
There's people who have just strictly panels at conventions just discussing the intricacies of Evangelion. And usually those people are the most opinionated about Evangelion. The most.
Jeez.
So if you even just a one little detail about the story, they're on you.
Like the budget cuts.
Oh yeah, they'll be on you about that. Oh, they might agree with you, but they'll have 1,000 reasons for why things turn out the way they did. You talk any shit about the characters, they'll give you an hour-long diatribe as to why that's supposed to be the way it is.
It's like, let's just hold this frame for 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Because drama. It's like, no, I
That's
just didn't
true.
have money to animate.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, let's just kind
I wouldn't really say money, but just more time.
I think it was money. Like, I've watched a lot of things they were saying,
Well,
they
yeah,
didn't
it
have a
was a
lot
money
of budget,
thing,
and
yeah.
they put all the budget into the fighting scenes.
Okay.
So that's why it was a lot of things lacking
Yeah.
in a lot of
And that's why they
areas.
also passed off the
Ending.
well, not just that. let's not congratulations, guys.
Congratulations!
Everyone.
Yay!
Congratulations!
You got to the end of the series without dying of a seizure.
Congratulations, we peaked the audio in this recording.
Yay! Thanks, guys.
But one thing, no, but it's also part of the reason why when they were directing as well, they passed off the directorship to different directors. They passed off the series to multiple directors throughout the course of the show. Like there's mid-show
Like
episodes.
hot potato.
Yeah, like hot potato essentially. Just throwing it off on the
What's
side.
hot? Get it.
You were smiling there for a second.
Sorry, I was
Oz.
thinking of something else.
What were you thinking of?
It's nothing related to this. Continue.
I'm curious now. I
No,
wanna know.
continue.
Come on, we want to hear this for the podcast.
It's not related
Just
to...
continue.
Okay, so
I'll ask you later.
we'll ask you later
Yeah.
because I'm curious. I really want to.
All right.
Alright,
But,
alright.
But anyway, back to fan service in that case.
Fan service.
Fan service in that case.
You mean the Evangelion sequels that are shit? Ain't
wow,
that
are
fan
we-
service?
So, well,
no, we're not gonna show Evangelion because that's like, start strong, you know?
They start strong. Work your way there. We'll start every review off, no matter if it's not to do
It's like
with
shitting on
Evangelion.
Evangelion.
We'll just shit on
I actually
Evangelion.
like the show a lot. I think it has a really good theme song.
Yeah, it's got a great. I don't like the full version, but I like the short. I don't like the guitar though, like the guitar bridges.
It's just like,
I don't know why.
you know, just
I don't know
shred
why
it.
about it.
Hey,
Anyway,
Aaron, could you show me that list that you mentioned before?
yes, let's.
about,
Yeah, I'll show you the list
So the list.
because before we go further into it, into the discussion of fan service, I'm just looking through the list here. There's a couple shows I really
Yeah.
like there.
They
So
look
yeah, continue
good.
while you guys talk.
There's one called Boku Dakigai Naimachi. That looks really good. I've probably annoyed the crap out of you guys about that series.
Yeah, you
right
told
now.
me
that one right
this-
there. You just passed by
this
that
one?
one. Yeah, that one there. That one looks really good.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like
I've seen the first.
children.
I've seen the first 2 episodes of it. Yeah, it's like childhood murder mystery in the past.
Okay.
Oh snap! They actually have Dimension W.
Yeah, I
I
was
really
going
like
to
the-
say that.
I actually really like the manga of that. The art was actually pretty interesting.
I didn't like the opening for it, but it looks okay.
Yeah. Like, I thought the universe was interesting, where, like, basically
Yeah.
they managed to create this device that could tap into, like, this infinite electrical supply of energy, essentially.
Coils, yeah.
Yeah. And they use that for, like, every bit of, like, devices, like, even machines, cars, robots.
But from the synopsis, someone makes illegal coils.
Yeah.
Someone like hacks in and creates
yeah,
fake
like,
ones.
Yeah, like, illegal ones that, like, how you say, they derive, like, an abnormal amount of electricity as
so
a
they
power
reroute
source.
electricity
Yeah.
essentially illegally.
Yeah, more or less.
Okay.
That creates monsters or something.
It creates phenomenon and possible other disasters of some sort.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So like
I have to read it again because
electric
like the
terrorism or something like that.
something like that. I probably have to read it again because it's been a
Right.
long time. I don't read it until like the chapters get updated,
Right.
which takes a very long time.
Yeah.
So I'd probably had to read it again, but it was pretty good from what I saw,
Okay.
from what I remember.
So while you're looking through that, it's interesting you bring up Evangelion as well and mechas because in fan service doesn't strictly have to mean just sexual fan service. I mean that's kind of what it's turned into.
Yeah,
but fan service can mean anything to please the fan. So
Like unlimited energy boosts.
limited energy boosts or like really over the top animation, action sequences, or just things happening in a way that like over decadent sized robots and stuff like that. Stuff
Yeah.
for guys who really love robots to go. You know how people say like food porn, robot porn,
Riot
stuff like
porn.
that. Yeah, yeah, like that. So that would be fan service essentially. Like so.
Is it or is it just like a trope?
No, it would be service because I mean these are things to appeal to certain kinds of demographics and that they're looking for.
But
when they're
it's like
watching
they're
it.
showing, you know, like it's just like
Right.
power up, new villain, defeat villain,
Yeah.
stronger villain comes up, power up.
It is a trope, yeah.
So is it like?
But
God.
I would think that it's also
It's like-
servicey as well because of like how would you word it? I would imagine it would be like that because the readers would want to expect a certain kind of outcome from the fights as well
Okay.
to come out a certain way. So they like seeing the hero Deus Ex Machina at the end of a battle and beat them with like an ultimate attack that comes out of
Bleach. What?
yeah, what? Oh, what?
Gurren Lagann, maybe?
Yeah, pretty much. That is fan service all the way around. We're not just talking about, well, Yoko, obviously. But when that last battle, which has been retold several times in Gurren Lagann, where they show, like, the Gurren Lagann robot becoming as big as the universe, and it's making this giant drill attack, and you see every mech within a mech within a mech within a mech fight at the same time, all at once. You could see that as servicey to, like, people who...
That was just too much.
It was over the top, and I think that was kind of the point of Gurren Lagann.
Yeah.
To just be over the top and ridiculous.
It was a fan service show that was just an homage to other mecha animes.
Yeah,
I
pretty
think the
much.
first
General.
season was really good.
Uh-huh.
And there's the second part when he's like older.
Right, so are you not a fan of the older?
I mean, no, I liked the first
You
season.
like
I
little
just,
boys better than older men?
Really?
That's not what I'm implying.
That's a low blow.
I just thought the
odds.
story
That's
was
low.
like, you know, arc better than like
Right.
the other ones just like, yeah, it turns out all the humans were on the ground because if there's too many, the moon turns to a weapon and kills everyone.
Even though
like-
it would kill the planet anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could destroy the planet with a
It's
weapon like that on the
we're
moon.
killing everyone
I
for their
guess.
safety all this time. And it's like, why didn't you
Right.
say so? And it's like, because plot holes.
But the moon was not really the weapon. Plot twist. It was other aliens from outer space that were just the manifestations of something. And they were the real enemies.
it's just like they rolled it like one season or something,
Yeah.
and they're just like, fuck, they want more. Okay,
Yeah.
let's right around this.
Maybe that was the same mentality when they went into Kill
I
la
mean,
Kill.
I understand like they usually do like a season thing, and if it works, they'll keep going.
Right.
So they don't really write accordingly, and there's tons of TV shows that have that problem. So it's not like just anime; it's like a bunch of shows.
It's a bunch of shows that do that sort of thing.
Yeah, like it can be U.S. TV series or whatever. So it's not a problem directly.
It's not a huge problem. It's not a big issue.
Well, it happens all the time, you know.
Yeah. Oh, it happens a crap ton of time.
Like, Legend of Korra. It's just
Yeah. Where it comes under huge, I don't know, issues with its own.
the show's good, but season 2 is like
It was ish. I mean,
still
like
good.
I suggested it to a friend of mine, and he's like, "Dude, season 2's such a slog to get through." And
It
then I
is.
asked him again. He's like, "No, I just dropped it. I couldn't watch anymore."
but 3 and 4 were good seasons.
Very good.
Well, he
Season
couldn't get
4.
to 3 or 4 because he wanted to go through all of them.
Well, I mean, look.
I've seen worse shows to go
Exactly.
through, actually.
Look, season 2 had like a virtually pointless romance with Bolin, and it had. I think it was
Don't-
good for developing.
Don't you mean Mako?
No.
Yeah,
Bolin.
Mako the cop.
No, but Bolin and
Oh yeah, Bolin and,
and
the
the ice.
and
one of the sisters.
one of the
Oh,
twins.
yeah.
the twin sister
Yeah.
who ends up
Yeah.
doing that. That was kind of the Mako thing was true. But,
Okay, yeah, I know what you mean.
I think that show was good for one thing. It developed those two guys, the guy and Julie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that's what it was good for. I think it really sealed.
Varric and Julie.
Varric and Julie. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was good for that.
I mean, there was the two origin story episodes that were amazing too.
I'm a huge fan of season 3 just because the voice of the villain is Henry Rollins.
Like the villains in season 3 in general, they are the fucking
they are
badassiest.
the badassiest of all of them. I like how they had bending powers that were
break the
variations that broke the mold.
Yeah,
That
fucking
was super cool.
Yeah.
Also
Demolish everything.
the scene,
Fucking cool.
also that one scene where what was his name? Zahir? Where Zahir takes the air out of the
Earth Queen.
Oh my!
It's like
God.
you're watching it, it's like, okay, all bets are off. Like, I think they just killed someone off screen, air quote.
No, they didn't
No.
kill, but
Like-
no, like
Literally killed her on screen.
Literally killed her
stole
on
the
screen,
air
but
out of her
did-
body.
yeah, by literally taking the air. What a great symbolic way to show someone dying
I just felt like when you were
without
watching,
showing it dying.
it just like felt deadly when you're watching each character
Oh, it
die.
did,
Like
yeah.
you were just like, shit, they're going for like full
I
on
could
Game
feel
of
the
Thrones.
air.
Like,
I could feel the air coming out of my lungs watching that
Yeah,
scene.
it's
That
like,
was god.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's
Airbender fight was pretty intense too.
Yeah, it was like it's like in the first season because I watched the first season of Korra and it made me go back to watch all of Last Airbender because there are things and the blood bending.
Jesus. That episode was dark.
That episode was dark. So you know what? That in a way, do you think maybe in that way, in its own niche, that bending is a sort of service to the fans? Like especially like think of
To an
the
extent, yeah.
Like,
Considering
it's
how
like-
yeah.
The
like,
first season was all about
Yeah.
blood bending. It's
And the
like-
second season just ramped it up. Like it brought back everything we loved and gave it to
Sonic
us
Boom Boom
tenfold.
Man.
Yeah, like with Boom Boom Man or the Bender terrorist, like you said.
the Bender what?
The Zahir and the
Yeah,
Oh,
the,
yeah,
the
yeah,
Red
yeah.
Lotus.
The
yeah.
Red Lotus, thank
Yeah.
you. And you had characters who could like lava bend
Yeah.
and
And like one lady who had no arms, but she used water bending anyways,
and
used
with her arms. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was pretty
used
good.
water to create new arms essentially.
That was pretty interesting. So yeah, I mean,
Out there.
fan service. It's like, how do you define fan service? Because like,
That's- yeah.
when I see it's like, okay, like they're doing it to please, like they have more like connection, like they talk more to the fans now. So like they just want to make something that sells.
Yeah.
So it makes sense for them to read like the blogs and the feeds and stuff. But
That's right.
it's like when I think of like there's the fan service where it's just like, you know, like floaty boobs and
Yeah.
like
Well, there's like there's many examples as well. Like
Zero G jugs.
Zero G jugs. I like how there's but you're right. It goes beyond just zero G jugs, and it shows peer review. People are actually reviewing what their audiences are saying. Kind of like how a lot of people speculate that going back to Korra, that the Korrasami romance might have come about because the
Tumblr.
fans because of Tumblr and the creators went, "Oh, Tumblr, you," and decided to put it in. And
I remember listening to a podcast about it. It was like Janet Varney and the voice actor for Asami, and they were talking about it, and they were just saying like, yeah, it just came over to us and asked us because they like people are just kind of like thinking about it, and then it's like, why don't we just kind of do it, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's just like the ending. It's like it's implied, and I don't know what's gonna happen. The comics are gonna release soon.
right,
Probably a continuation.
which
of
I would
that.
buy those.
But it's like, it's cool, you know.
yeah, it's fine. There's
I
no-
mean, maybe the Parent League of America is gonna freak out.
I guess because even
You know, because children can't bleed or see same-sex relationships.
well, gay people can get married now legally, but show it on TV. No, we're still not there yet. We're not.
Shame.
Yeah, I don't get that. But
I think although like I think like not to bash on Americans, but I just feel like there's a lot of unnecessary censorship or
Yeah.
like. It's like here, it's like, oh yeah, like boobs and dicks and whatever.
Yeah.
We don't care. It's like, I don't know, it's art. Or like it's like even like on like primetime television, I don't know about like English Canada, but like on French Canada TV,
Right.
like boobs and dicks and like it's all there like all the time. And then
Right.
people curse and it's fine. And there's blood and it's fine.
Yeah, which makes it weird when
So,
people...
and also there's a law here that says that you cannot make a cartoon directly targeted at kids.
What?
To like,
Really?
And you cannot have advertising directed at kids. That's why there's no like cereal commercial or Hot Wheels commercial like, children, check this out. Nah, 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 nah. So,
That
like,
used to be big for a while.
yeah, but there's a law here. I don't know if it's all across Canada, but I know it's like you don't want advertising specifically targeted at children because it like changes. It's bad for them.
Really?
Yeah, and it makes sense though. Like
I was
it's
not
always
familiar
like
with
it's like
that.
when you see the Canadian cereal commercial versus the American cereal commercials.
Yeah,
It's like two fucking worlds.
yeah.
So it doesn't have anything to do about fan service, but like
This derailed from fan service a little bit.
yeah, I don't even know where I
Yeah.
was going with this.
Well,
but it's
well,
basically like censorship of like character relationship and stuff. This shouldn't be.
Well,
I don't know, man. It's the fucking real world. You're gonna see this anyways.
well, there's a point to that I want to get back to. I'll get back to that in a second, but just to elaborate on the point I made with Kurosami, other creators have done that too, to please the fans. Like, for instance, if I remember correctly, Lauren Faust, when she started out the first season of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic,
Yeah.
if you remember correctly, you remember Derpy?
Oh yeah, Derpy
yeah.
Hoops.
Yeah, Derpy Hoops, because one of the characters that was supposed to be just like a stock character in the background,
Yeah.
the fans noticed one of the eyes was off on it. And so the
Yeah.
fans started calling it Derpy because they figured, and they made this whole backstory behind this character, just for fun, just for shits and giggles.
Yeah,
But
she was
Lauren
like
Faust-
a mailman and
yeah, she was a postwoman or something like that. But like Lauren picked up on that and noticed that people really took to this character like that and made this character almost a side character.
yeah, they made it in the third season.
In the
Second
was it
or
third?
third
No,
season?
it was in they appeared in the first.
But I remember
But-
hearing that when they did that, there was like some people advocating for the rights of like people with disabilities. It was things like this is like propagating a negative stereotype and you should
Yeah.
remove it. And they did actually like remove it.
Which I didn't get, honestly.
I
but,
mean,
like-
I can understand
I
how
can
it's
understand,
harmful, but it's like
but
it's like that gray zone. It's like it's not like
I could see that. But
it's just
I mean,
it's like Scooby Doo or Shaggy. They're
I don't
kind of
think-
like stupid.
I
you know?
don't think the character was necessarily stupid. It was just clumsy.
Yeah, I
more
mean,
than
you know,
anything.
like Derpy. He's just like
Yeah. Derpy's just a little klutzy. What didn't seem that bad.
But maybe we don't know like the whole origin of that like herpaderp thing either. So
Yeah, the herpaderp,
you were
yeah.
missing something too.
Yeah.
You know, because we're not informed about everything all the
We're
time.
not informed,
either.
or maybe it was an exaggerated concern by people on behalf of people with disability, because that's oftentimes the people who represent.
I mean, there's people like advocating for a PG-13 Deadpool.
Yeah,
So like,
which I don't. Yeah.
have they read the book?
Have they read the books? Have they read the comics?
I
No, but
understand
the
it.
young kids love the Deadpool.
What do
we
they love
gotta,
about
we
Deadpool?
gotta
What,
market it to them too.
What? Because they
Oh,
saw
boy.
Deadpool once or twice
What
on like
parent-
Extreme's Amazing Spider-Man, the new animated series, and they got away with it, so they could keep doing that.
Yeah, but it's a lot less violent.
Well, it's a lot less violent in that one, and I get it. Fine, fourth wall character, it can be in multiple things, but I don't think that's what the film's going for. You can make a series on that if you wanted to.
You watch it when you'll be older.
Yeah,
Like,
watch it when you're older, kids.
It's not made for you.
You know what? You know what, kids? For any kids listening to this podcast,
You can just torrent it.
just torrent it if when your parents aren't watching, and
Legally purchase it online.
legally purchase it online. With your mom's credit card, she won't know. And
Hey kids, kill your parents.
Yeah.
Do it.
Just do it. Then you can watch all the R-rated stuff you want
Yeah, I mean,
in an orphanage. So
I mean, sometimes kids just need to see something out of their like age limitation. Like it's just there's always like that thing that you were watching when you were a kid that was like, hee, I'm not supposed to watch
I'm not supposed to
this."
watch this girl getting super hard slammed by 10-inch cock.
Well, I mean, if that's
Yeah.
your experience.
yeah. Well, that was my actually funny you say that. That's my experience when I started anime.
No.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
When I was 12, I think did I tell you guys this?
Yes.
Yes, when I was 12, I'll tell this for the podcast. When I was 12 years old, I decided to get into anime when I realized that it was its own medium. So I wanted to get into that. So the first things I looked into were Evangelion, of course, because that was at my video store. Remember video rental stores?
It's
And-
cartoons.
I know.
Children can pick it up.
Exactly. So I picked it up there, and the second thing I picked up was Ninja Scroll.
Okay.
And Ninja Scroll, I need to go back and watch Ninja Scroll because it's years later. I'm mature. I'm sure the trauma's
Wait,
gone.
does that happen in Ninja Scroll?
Well, something happened in Ninja Scroll that made me scared. I was 12 years old, okay? And I turn on the TV, I put the DVD in to start playing, and there's a scene that scared the crap out of me. A ninja girl and a ninja guy go into these woods to figure out who's causing this like disease in their village, and they start running around, and then you see like this large boomerang come out of nowhere and just like tear down all these trees, and all these like shinobi and ninja are dying left and right, and these two people are left at the end, and this big towering rock guy comes out, and he's like, I'm gonna kill you, grab the boomerang. And then the guy's like, get out of here, save yourself, lady, tell the villagers. And the guy, and the rock guy picks up the little ninja boy by the arms, pulls his arms off, drinks the blood from the arms. The girl starts running away. The guy throws the boomerang at her, hits the branch she lands on. She falls down, knocks herself unconscious. The giant monster takes her away to his home and starts raping her while she's unconscious.
I'm like, you don't see my face on this podcast, and I'm cringing so
You're cringing.
hard.
And I remember just when he
is like, okay, what happens to the girl after? Does she have a backstory? Does she use...
well, I didn't get far enough to know. I didn't get far enough to know. But all I know was she was asleep. And I remember as soon as the guy ripped open the clothes and started like sucking her body, I freaked out. I was scared, and I ran to the DVD player and ejected it right away. I went, I'm not watching this. I'm 12. I'm like, no, this is scary. This is too scary for me.
It sounds scary even now, to be honest.
It is scary even now, to be honest. And I haven't watched Ninja Scroll since. I will try to, because people keep telling me it's good. I keep hearing it from people.
I guess it's like Game of Thrones. You just got to get over a few rape scenes.
Yeah, you gotta get past the rape scenes and the gore to get to the real goodness of the story, you know. So maybe it's better than I'm giving it credit because I haven't seen it in a long time. But I was 12 when that happened.
Well,
I always keep forgetting this anime exists, and then somebody mentions the name. It's like, oh yeah.
And there's an anime series that came out after it too.
Yeah.
It was like toned down a lot. But,
oh yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how hard it is to tone that after that. Thing you described.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It was.
Well, isn't it like half of like hentai, whatever, just like rape?
Hentai goes 10,000 leagues deeper.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 10 times worse. I'm not going to go into it here on this podcast because there's some stuff that I think is a little bit too graphic to mention.
I think I'm done.
But
yeah,
you're a fan. But we can. Let's get back onto fan service.
Yeah, fan service, because that's not fan service. That's just trauma. Okay?
So I guess we'll go. I guess we'll just discuss the meat of what people know about, or what people can assume about fan service.
We have a description of fan service according to the internet.
The sex side of it, the absolute.
That's the most like noticeable. Like, I mean, not noticeable. It's like more like in your face, and it's like. It is like the number one like thing that comes on top of the list of fan service-ness.
And that's why people mostly associate the word fan service with that now. Because like that's
hard not to,
you know,
because what happens when you say like is this useful to your story? Does it does anything with the character? Mm-hmm. Do I need to see this? It's like
it's necessary.
No.
And that's why and that's why there's a whole series of it that's not hentai but heavily fan service for that appeal, and it's called ecchi.
Yeah. Okay. So according to the first description I get on Google when I write fan service, there's an image of a character with a bikini top and some clothes on the bottom.
Yeah.
And it says fan service or service cut is a material in a work of fiction or a fictional series which intentionally added to please the audience. The term originated in anime and manga fandom but has been used in other mediums.
Yeah.
So
it's funny you don't hear the word fan service used enough in other shows, which in Western films and TV series.
Description of the picture: a character wearing a bathing suit is typical fan service.
Yeah. That
goddamn beach episode that we can just.
The obligatory beach episode in every romance comedy
should we talk
anime.
About the beach episodes here?
A show that did a beach episode good was Avatar: The Last Airbender.
All right.
They did the beach
Yeah,
episode.
but that's because they didn't focus on the bikinis too much.
It was a very good episode.
Wasn't there one scene though where they showed Katara and what she looked like, and they said like, "How do I look?"
Yeah.
I don't
Because
remember that episode.
because here's the thing, it's based on
No, that was another episode.
yeah, but there's a lot of anime that does that, and you can tell it's gonna go that route when you see like that slow vertical pan upwards across a girl's body when she's wearing like a bikini or she's wearing anything revealing,
I mean,
and they have to show her off.
Yeah.
It's like
Exhibit her.
male gazy.
It's male gazing essentially. That it is like wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I was
is-
having that conversation. It's like, is there such a thing as female gaze?
Well, I believe there.
There
I'm pretty
is.
sure there is, yeah.
Yeah,
But
there is, but it's just like,
Is it represented?
how is it represented? It's like dudes thinking that this is what girls like, and they kind of
Yeah.
presented that way with like the anime called Free that everybody's freaking out about.
That's the most easily like easiest one to point out.
Yeah.
It is. Free.
I
Oh god, I hear you sniffing over there, Odds.
I didn't watch it either. I just found
I
it's just like, okay, guys swimming.
I've watched a few episodes of the first
That
season
one
three.
that one episode where like this dude has to give CPR to this other guy, and like it goes in slowly so that girls
See,
can just start splooshing their
Sandy's
pants.
into that stuff. I'm more
Oh,
like...
we have a friend. Yeah, we have a friend, Sandy.
She's-
She would love to be on this podcast.
Oh, absolutely.
And she is. I think she's what the anime would call a fujoshi.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
Basically, girls who like dude on dude stuff.
Oh,
Because
but
the-
created for
yeah.
to cater to
You
women.
know how like in a lot of
More or less, yeah.
well, there's actually it's funny you say that because there's a cliches and characters in anime. There's a stereotype I see for one type of girl in anime now as well. You probably see it, Oz. Maybe you see it a few times as well, Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
It's the girl who always ships and pairs guys together.
Oh yeah, fujoshis.
The fujoshis,
Yeah.
they have a character like that in especially romance and love comedy animes.
Mm-hmm.
They always have this one girl who's always like putting two guys together and nose bleeding and getting obsessed like crazy, and then just like losing her shit.
It's
on
like that
everything.
one
Which,
character
okay,
from.
I haven't I feel like I haven't seen that much.
Well, that's
but
why I like
depending-
watching romance anime because
Oh,
there's
you
always
watch more
one.
romance anime.
I know because there's always one character or anything that's a love comedy. Essentially.
There's that one character from Lucky Star who would always pair her two female friends together in her artwork.
Yeah, it's true. And then there's
Yeah.
also what was it? There was also
Sakura
Neo.
Card Captor.
Yeah.
It was like like I rewatched it recently. I was just like, damn, like the brother and his best friend and Sakura and her cousin.
Yeah.
I was just like, damn, okay, that was not subtle at all. But
Nope, not
did
subtle at
not
all.
notice it that much as a kid. So I guess I was just kind of like, whatever.
Jeez.
I know.
I was so oblivious as a kid, like, Jesus. But I also didn't understand, like, half of what they were saying, and we had, like, maybe, like, 5 or 6 episodes that I watched. I didn't, like, watch it religiously.
Yeah.
So, and they also, like, got a lot of stuff in dub sometimes, too.
They do. Well, Card Captors, they skipped out on a couple of things as well.
Yeah, so
In that one. Like, I think they didn't put in an episode, there was one episode I don't think they put in, of Kero getting drunk.
Oh yeah, the cat thing that had the wings.
Yeah, the cat thing that had the wings.
Yeah.
And there's
Pero-
yeah, the cat bear wing thing.
Yeah.
And there's an episode where I think he's in the house and he sees a bunch
yeah,
of
he
whiskey
eats, like,
chocolates.
whiskey chocolate. Yeah,
Whiskey
yeah.
chocolates just lying around, and he eats the whiskey chocolates, gets completely trashed, and then flies around an old alleyway somewhere,
Yeah.
and just falls asleep on like a dirty bed.
What's the law on
Gross.
that?
It's like,
You know?
what?
What's the law on that? Like, just like not seeing character being drunk?
Yeah, not showing any kind of like inebriation or drunkenness is not allowed for children to see, because they don't want to. They think if they see people getting drunk, they'll want to get drunk. Or
You know,
something
there's
like
children going to St. Patrick's Parade.
that. Yeah.
And,
So
like,
It's not the same. Gosh.
it's not the same
Or
because
like Christmas parties.
because there's people dressed up as leprechauns and rainbows and other.
And
they're
in
not
Christmas
paying
parties, it's more about
They're not paying
family.
attention to the 30,000 people guys behind them drinking shit face in the middle of the afternoon.
They don't even understand
They
that.
don't
It doesn't make
understand
any
that.
sense.
What are you talking
But
about?
if you put it in a cartoon, they're able to digest it because it's a cartoon directed towards
And
them.
also, what I find stupid about
Blah,
that is
blah,
they can't
blah.
show that, but they'll show parallels. They'll show like a guy getting drunk off milk in a cartoon, and then saying like,
Or, like,
"Oh, give me more
cactus
milk.
juice.
I'll tell you when I've had enough." And they do that. I'm like, well, you can get away with that, but you can't get away with.
You know what? This is now like I feel like this is delving into censorship because now it's reminding me about like the 4Kids dub of One Piece about like how they'd have beer, well not beer but like some type of wine, and then like the episode where they had like wine or rum, they'd replace it with juice of some sort.
Oh, for God's sake!
Protect the children.
Protect the children. Because Luffy is a cool dude. He wouldn't drink wine.
I mean, they showed in Pirates of the Caribbean, nobody said anything because it's...
Yeah, why is the rum gone?
Well, 4Kids were pretty anal about that sort of shit.
Oh, fucks.
Oh...
It's a good thing 4Kids is actually defunct now, so...
Yeah.
I used to watch it. I didn't understand anything they were saying, but I liked watching the cartoons.
Well, fan service with censorship on it can also have a little bit of a backfiring on its censorship, because... Sometimes it's used in shows to tantalize the viewer with what they don't see, and then make them want to buy the DVDs to get the uncut version. So sometimes the censorship works in their favor because it leaves stuff up to the imagination.
Japan doesn't seem to give a fuck.
They don't give a fuck.
That.
Like with the show, popularly the show To Love Ru. Right away. Osmond makes us...
the face of Osmond is like, look to the
side. Stop.
I'm telling you something right now. If anyone has the opportunity to rant about anything about To Love Ru, it's you. Go.
So you know that bullshit that you mentioned about like, oh, the main character trips and shenanigans happen? It happens almost every chapter of this, like To Love Ru and To Love Ru Darkness, to the point where everyone's just like, oh god, he tripped again.
Like, if you want a textbook example of every trope and like moe cliche,
somehow he always manages to get the girl's vag on his face. They always have their faces in his crotch. He somehow manages to get his hand into their chest or underwear. And there's this one chapter where like he slipped, the cell phone in his hand slipped, he tried to get it, fell in the girl's underwear, and when he tried to pull it out, he just kept pressing the button to take a picture of her vag.
I can't begin to describe how... and then
it was ridiculous.
And then Darkness
That was in Darkness.
If only was doing something with these
what I just described was in Darkness.
Oh, God. Because Darkness was the step up from To Love Ru. It was the attempt to try to get away with more.
Yeah.
In like...
It's like a game, basically, at this point.
Well, yeah, at this point, that's an interesting thing you say. Fan service at this point for a lot of shows that are like ecchi and raunchy, it's just now a game, a competition to see who can get away with the most raunchiest, sexiest, most erotic forms you can get, like softcore forms, without stretching the censorship too far.
While also inadvertently making your main character look like a spineless, wishy-washy, indecisive idiot.
Look at High School DxD.
But that's like most of the dudes in harem animes.
Yeah, but it's like so prominent in To Love Ru. Like, my god. At least, I remember watching reading another harem manga called Ichigo 100% a long time ago. He even makes an actual decision, and it's not even the main girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he picks one of the other side girls instead.
Yeah.
At least he chose and ended, but this is still going and going. God forbid he actually chooses. Like, holy shit.
Of course he doesn't, because you know what?
I want to go out with this girl that I knew from middle school.
But this alien queen from another planet
showed up in my bathtub totally naked, and she totally fell for me after I said, hey, she shouldn't be married off to someone she doesn't know,
so
blah, blah, blah.
So she wants to marry me anyway, since I said that.
Yeah, now more girls are falling on my lap, but I don't notice it because I'm the dense-ass main character.
It's like if Solomon was a sexy chick and she was gonna like give like half of herself to two guys, and one guy's like, well, I don't care, I'll take half, and then the other guy just goes, no, but all of you is perfect, and the girl goes, okay, you. It's like
that's the reason I don't watch a lot of animes.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like...
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go for something with action, so I'm not gonna
because that's not the focal point, right?
Die intellectually while watching this.
But
I'd rather watch Twilight at this point, because like...
But with anime, unfortunately, even if the show doesn't have that as a focal point, The problem is it's also sprinkled into a lot of different genres of anime now.
I know.
Because they just need to
I
get
know.
that extra ratings boost. They need to get that extra attention on them.
I just can't.
Yeah. And doesn't it feel just jarringly unnecessary when you see it?
Oh yeah.
Like in Code Geass.
I never watched Code Geass,
Okay.
actually.
But there's one character, I've seen pictures, I've seen episodes and stuff. There's one character, she has red hair, and the audience can...
Oh, did she have, like, red hair and it was, like, shoulder length? And...
Shoulder length and a ponytail.
Oh, yeah, and she does, like, dancing in, like...
That's not even the worst of it. The worst is that,
okay.
for no reason, they would shoot angles of her piloting the robot from the angle of her ass towards her.
Oh!
Yeah.
I know another series fucking Expelled from Paradise. I actually got around to watching it.
Did you see
and
it?
I, like, listening to Douchebag Chocolat's review of
Demolition
that.
D.
It's true. Like, literally, this CG movie is paranoid that the audience will forget that the main heroine has an ass. Like, there will always be shots centered around her ass. I'm terrified that these male viewers will forget this character has an ass. Let's get some more shots of it.
Yeah, hey, look. Remember. Girls
Oh, man.
have
Oh, man.
asses.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
You know, it's funny because today there was a new episode of Feminist Frequencies that was all about that ass.
Which one?
The episode that it came out. It's
Of
like
what?
it's the
What?
Feminist Frequencies.
Feminist frequency.
Everybody hates her, or
Yeah.
most of the internet does. I don't know. I'm just
Who?
kind of like
Anita Sarkeesian.
the person
okay,
who
that
started
lady.
Gamergate
Yeah.
or something like that.
Was she the one who started?
No,
I don't
it
know.
was her,
No, no,
Zoe
no.
Quinn.
Yeah, it was that lady. That
No,
you're talking about,
Gamergate-
but continue.
Anyways, so basically she made like sometimes her videos are kind of like cherry picking a little bit,
Yeah.
but still that's a good point. So she was mentioning how in certain games when it's a male protagonist, you cannot move the camera under the character's ass to check out the ass.
Right.
There's like a cape, some sort of like piece of fabric, the camera just doesn't go there, or the character turns around when you put the camera there. But if it's a female character, you can zoom in on that ass all you want.
Yeah.
Like there's no
limitations.
There's no really limitation depending on the game.
Yeah.
Like Life is Strange, there's no limitation, but it's kind of like a heavy rain kind of scenario, so I guess it's not the same.
It's not the same because if you're looking at it, you have to really stretch the impressions of them to really go like, yeah. You know.
So, that butt must be in the center frame.
Yeah, that butt's got to be in the center frame.
Can't let people forget that this person has one, right?
Yeah, it's like, you know what that just reminds me of? It reminds me of all those shots where in anime where the characters are conveniently located, where the woman who goes to talk to them enters the frame just at the right position to have like all the rack shown. And half the time when she's talking, they don't even have her like come into the frame to show her face.
Mm-hmm.
They show like just the rack talking to him. Yeah.
This is where all the conversations go to.
happening. My boobs are the ones doing the talking here. It's empowering.
You thought the brain was up here, but it's actually
down here.
down there.
You know what? It's like when we tell you our eyes up here, that's a con. It's like it's telling you, look, this is the fake brain. This is the real brain. It's a test. If you're still looking, that means you've passed.
See, maybe that's why I don't watch a lot of it, because I'm just like, this is not catered for me, clearly.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna move along.
But it's
But
a
it's
voice
like,
club.
why are you alienating half of the world's population?
Well, get the fuck out, Sarah.
I know.
No
it's
girls
not-
allowed.
I know, I just...
Yeah.
Like,
Go
even
watch
in,
your Boruto.
even in that, there's always some fan service to a
there is.
lesser extent, but still, like...
Like that one scene in one of the
But,
Naruto
like, you're
movies
not
where
safe anywhere. Okay, you cannot watch, like, anything without it being inside of the anime. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Because
so it's kind of like, okay, well, I guess I'll just go somewhere else.
Well, I mean, I can give you right now. If
I'll just go watch the Miyazaki movie. Okay, bye.
girls who are looking for an alternative, just to know that their voices are being heard. Those filthy fujoshis, you know.
I'm gonna go watch Mad Max.
Mad Max, yeah, go watch Mad Max. No, I can give you like a list of shows that can at least man service you if you need it.
I have GIF sets of Marvel movies.
Well,
I'm
good
okay.
good enough. You know, like why look at a cartoon like metrosexual dude who's like 150 pounds and nothing swimming like in free, or look at a guy who's built like a brick shithouse like Chris
He's a
Hemsworth
brick.
and just house. He's mighty, just letting it all hang out.
Yeah, you like that.
Chris Hemsworth.
I mean-
Listen, he's my kind of guy too. I'll tell
I
you
mean,
that.
the Chris's of the Marvel universe.
The Chris Hemsworth, the John Hams. I'm into the John Hams, like, you know.
John Hamm.
John Hams, Isaiah Mustafa. He's the Old Spice guy.
Oh.
He's
yes.
the Old Spice guy. Those are my kind of guys, honestly.
It's like realization. Yes.
Realization. That's his name. Like, I had to look him up. I'm like,
Yeah.
Isaiah Mustafa.
Anyways, I'm not getting my fan service
Well,
into the
I
anime.
will tell you. Okay, but if you ever need it, just in case you want to confirm that anime's listening, heeding your call, I know at least a few. I know a handful. I know a handful of shows that I could just throw your way. There's Orenchi Furo, which is
Okay.
about merman in a bathtub.
I'm
living
gonna
with
send that to one of my friends.
Yeah, send it to your friends. There's also Kami no Asobi, which is basically if gods, like male gods living in a academy, were the Backstreet Boys to one groupie fangirl who lived amongst them.
Okay.
Then there is
There's a thing that's like reverse harem, like
there's reverse harem. There's Black Butler.
that exists, right?
Yeah.
I mean, examples.
Well, there's reverse harem.
Like a
Kami no
girl with
Asobi-
a bunch of dudes.
Kami no Asobi is reverse harem.
Okay.
It's reverse harem. Then there is
But is it a harem anime a fan service period?
yes.
See, I can't deal with that because there's no payoff.
That's right. So by that
Nobody's
token,
getting to D, okay?
Exactly. So by that token, does that mean then? Because I believe this. Shows that outright state that that's what they're about, I would argue that they get a bit of a pass to me. Shows that
because that's what they're marketing.
That's what they're
themselves
marketing.
I'd
as.
say, hi,
Shows
fan service stamp of approval.
Exactly. Like
okay, bye.
when you see a show like Sexy Ninjas or I forget what it's called. There's Senran Kagura.
Senra.
Yeah, if there's Senran Kagura or what's the other one? It's called I don't know, boob soldier or something like that. You know what you're getting into with that. You know, so you know to avoid that. But the ones that piss me off are the ones that promise you something and then throw that in without you wanting it. Because you didn't ask for it.
Yeah.
That's what bugs me. Like, if I'm going into Code Geass, I don't want that one episode where Cece, the green-haired girl, is sexually eating pizza. And promoting, what was it, Domino's or something like that in the episode?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And then, or the episodes in Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei.
Well, there was...
You know what I'm talking about,
yeah.
right? Yeah, where they would just show, they would show some of the girls, like, especially the Hikikomori girl.
Yeah.
And the, what was it, the nurse girl? Just like, or like the teacher girl. Just, like, showing them rubbing each other and, like, showing shots of their boobs for no reason at odd points throughout the show.
I just remembered the most fan-servicey episode of a show ever. It was, it's called Beyond the Horizon. It's like this little...
Oh, Beyond the Boundary.
Yeah, Beyond the Boundary. There you go.
Are you talking about episode 6?
It's like when there's, like, this creature and they have to get it, to get gems out of it, or, like, special stones.
Yeah.
And... basically, the creature needs to get distracted by, like, a musical number or some shit.
Yeah.
And they try to catch it without doing that. It doesn't work. And if they don't, like, if they distract it, it explodes. And there's, like, a stinky substance that's, like, liquid that goes on them. They have to take a shower. And then they do that multiple times throughout the episode. And at the end, what they do this choreography. They sing, they dance, they have little outfits.
Idol
like,
dance, basically.
Yeah, basically. And then, like, it almost works. And then whoosh, they mess it up.
Yeah.
So it's basically, like, dancing, swoosh, shower scene. Like, there's, like, 4 or 5 shower scenes in that episode. I'm just like,
Yeah.
we almost got away without one of these episodes.
Yeah.
So close.
So close.
So close.
And you know what? That's not what you went into Beyond the Boundary.
No,
expecting.
it's like cool. It's like this character with a blood sword.
Yeah.
Like, and
Pretty
demons
cool.
and, like, awesome
And
animation.
sure, she was a little clumsy, but it was passable because she was still pretty badass at times.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I thought it was, like, endearing.
Speaking of fan service, I also remember that there was this one DLC scenario for Blaze Blue, what was it, fucking Chrono Phantasma, and it was just a beach scene, and, like, you see 2 female characters and, like...
That's not necessary,
bikinis.
right?
Yeah. I mean, it's literally fan service, and they're like, hey, it's here if you want it, but it's not exactly in the main game.
Uh-huh.
Here you go.
It's like in, it's like this other game you were playing, Osman, Killer is Dead. and you're talking and the gigolo scenes.
I don't even want to talk about this. I was so disappointed by that game.
Yeah, and it is quite sad to watch
And
those scenes.
that's the thing. Like even the Suda51, the director of Grasshopper Studios, he's like, like he actually had an idea of what he wanted to do for like those dating mini games. Like, make it actually constructive instead of like ogling the girl with like your X-ray specs or some shit. But apparently the publisher is like, no, you got to make it sexy or some shit.
I think what just made me laugh my ass off so much.
And he's like, well, fuck, I got no choice.
Yeah. What made me laugh my ass off about that gameplay though was like not the horrible like ogling of the tits and stuff like that, but when you would succeed in getting the girl, it would cut to white. You'd hear like a oh or something like that, and then you'd hear a bunch of guys go.
Good job.
Oh, power fantasy much?
Yeah.
Such a welcoming environment.
It's such a welcoming environment. Once again, did I mention welcome to the podcast?
Yeah.
Yes.
The one. Let's see. Let me count here. Man, woman, man. Okay, I think there's a leverage here somewhere. I don't know where.
What?
What?
I mean, do you want me to go like all like feminist perspective on the thing, or like do you not want me to?
Or do you want
whatever works for you? I
do
guess.
you want to get flamed by the meninists out there?
Oh, God.
We'll give you shit.
Kill me now. Okay.
You mean meninists? Don't you mean like sad man children?
Pretty much.
Those tears, though.
Well, I mean, Oz. I mean, think about it. Throughout this whole podcast, we've been doing all the mansplaining. But let's let the
No, we're just having a conversation. We were taking it. My opinion was as valued as anybody else's.
Exactly.
That's fine,
Exactly.
But I'm just like I said, like most of the media is not catered to me because I don't fucking matter.
Yeah, because the marketing teams and executive development.
Also, it's just because there's not as much like women in the industries in general.
It's true.
Or people of color. Or,
I think
like minorities in general. So
I think that's why I like the show Shirobako a bit.
yeah.
You gotta finish that, actually.
You gotta finish that. Like, you got midway with that.
So good.
It's so good from beginning to end, and the characters were endearing. And actually,
there's not that much fan service.
No, not really.
Not
I
even
think
that I can think
no,
of.
I don't think so.
No,
I think
there's not even any, I think.
When I was showing
that's why I liked it so much.
Probably the only characters who got remotely kind of fan servicey were like the girl in the yellow shirt.
Yeah, the animator.
The
animator
but for,
girl
one or
with the
two
black
scenes,
hair.
and that was
said
it.
she had the background because of her boobs or something.
Yeah, but that
which
was
is a credible explanation.
Credible explanation. Yeah. And then there was Emily, I think it was like the assistant animator who was like the best friend of the producer. The girl with like the pigtails.
Oh yeah, the
black hair.
girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you'd see her like exercising on the top.
Yeah.
When she was being all cutie about it.
She wasn't exercising. I believe she was doing like choreography, like trying to understand a scene that she was supposed to animate.
It was a combination.
like de-stress or something.
Yeah, like there was a combination of she did choreography to understand poses, but then she also did some exercises to keep her like her body, to keep her wrists healthy and her body healthy, so she wouldn't be like sitting on her ass and like getting back problems.
From an
and,
animation
like, arm
perspective,
problems.
it makes complete sense.
Makes complete sense, and that's what I loved about it, like all the way through.
That show's so good. Like anybody likes animation,
watch it.
Watch it. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, I want the DVDs of that.
And like you even have like the feels at the end.
Yeah.
Just vouching for these characters to get their shit together.
Yeah, and you do, and the payoff is great.
Oh, it's amazing.
The payoff is really great for it.
Yeah.
So wrap it up here?
Yeah, I guess.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, fan service. What else do we have to say? So, fan service, what is it? It's like...
fan service is anything that pleases the fans.
Yeah.
Anything. Is there...
It's not right or wrong, but it can be overused.
It can be overused and unnecessarily used.
Turns people off of some animes. Like, I know it does for me. I don't know, like...
I know tons of people...
Like, sometimes I can get over it if there's not too much, but sometimes I'm just like, nope.
That is not an uncommon complaint. It's very common for people to just say, I roll my eyes and just try to get past this part in order to enjoy the rest of the story.
Yeah.
That's the other thing as well. So, for another episode then.
Yes.
All right. So,
okay.
It has been the Animooters.
It has been fun. It has been Tanoshi.
What's that?
It just...
I don't speak Japanese!
What a weeaboo.
Yeah.
I am not...
It's
I can sit down and talk to you about the, like...
It's Japanese for
DC
Aaron's
comics.
a freaking weeaboo.
Nerd.
Oh, God.
All right, well, until next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Nerds.